Hi, this is Freedom from Condo Planet. I want to welcome you to another episode of our video series on condos for rent in Mississauga. Today I want to talk to you about a very important topic, what you need to know when searching for a second parking spot. Most families, as you know, have 2 cars these days, and that's why needing that second parking spot is very important. It becomes a big concern when families are searching for that right condo to rent in Mississauga. The good news is that there is a solution to the problem. Even though most condos don't come with a second parking space, there is an answer. And it does require a little legwork from you, the tenant, but there is a solution. And we at Condo Planet will help you make that process of finding that second parking spot hassle-free. Now here's what you need to know. Most landlords do not purchase a second parking spot from the builder when they buy the unit. And when the building comes up and it's under pre-construction and they're selling those units, most of the buyers just buy the standard 1 parking spot which comes with the sale price, and they don't pay the extra $20,000, $25,000 for an additional space. And that's why most of them only come with 1 space. The good news is that in any given building at any given time, there's usually a second parking spot that you can rent from another owner. So that's the good news. They're available out there. But the bottom line is that if you need an extra parking space, you have to accept that you got to go looking for that second spot after you sign the lease. Of course, you're not gonna secure a second parking spot in a building that you don't even have a lease agreement in, because what if your agreement to lease doesn't negotiate well and it doesn't happen to come together? Then you've rented a spot in the building that you're not going to live in. Doesn't make any sense. So most logical thing for you to do is to sign a lease with your 1 parking space that comes standard, typical with the lease, and then go searching for that extra parking space. That tends to make some people nervous. I have to admit, many clients in the past at Condo Planet have been nervous about entering a lease without knowing they're going to get that second parking space for sure. But I can guarantee you that it's not been an issue. However, there is some things you need to know to make it easier for you. We at Condo Planet tend to know the buildings where it's much easier to find that second parking space, and I have to caution you that there are certain buildings that you have to avoid. And they happen to be the absolute condos. If you're looking at the Marilyn Monroe condos or any of their sister condos, 70 absolute, 80 absolute, or 90 absolute, you should avoid them like the plague if you need that second parking space, because with so many people living in those buildings, parking is rare, it's scarce, and it's so hard to find a second parking space. You're probably going to have no luck doing it. So I caution my clients here at Condo Planet, we caution all our tenants to avoid those buildings if they need that second space. Now, how much does the second space cost? Well, it depends on 2 factors. Firstly, it depends on supply and demand. So the time of year that you decide to rent a place, if it's going to be spring and summer when the demand is highest, the likelihood is you're going to pay extra for that parking space, as you are going to pay extra for your rent. Now, the other element is the age of the building. You have to consider, like, an older building will charge less, okay? They'll charge less for that extra parking space. Usually it'll go in an older building for between $40 to $70. In a newer building, you're looking at a range of $70 to $100. So that's pretty much what you need to know when you're looking for a second parking space. If you have any further questions, you can reach us here at condoplanet.ca. Thanks.